Welcome on in, Miami Dolphin fans, football fans, fins up. Let me turn the hat around because I'm cool and I can. And it is Memorial Day. Warm weather outside. And when you think of warm weather, I don't know about you, I think of baseball. But I also think about my Miami Dolphins training camp. Coming up, warm weather means training camp for the start of the season in September. And the 2014 schedule was released at the end of April, over a month ago. And I thought to myself, why not do a video, fins up once again, about the schedule that was released, even though it was released a month ago. But what I did is, when I looked at the schedule that came out, I looked at prior games, the teams that we faced last year, and we're facing them again this year. Teams like the Patriots, the Bills, so on and so forth. So looked at all those games, believe it or not. Yes, because I'm a nerd, and I just want to give you my initial thoughts as we go through the schedule. Overall, as far as the Dolphins' schedule go, plenty of reaction. Trying to, not being in Florida, I can only imagine what the pulse of the fans are down there in Florida. We start with back-to-back division games for the first time in a very long time. We play the Raiders in London, which is a complete fucking joke. Football is never going to be in London. Why we're playing in London, I don't know. And 2 late season tilts against the Jets. And again, here's a look at each game. Week 1, and we are going to go through every week. Bear with me. Week 1, you have the New England Patriots. The Dolphins entered week 15 of the 2013 season, needing a huge win against Tom Brady and the Patriots. Stay in the playoff hunt. Tannehill outdueled Brady with a TD drive in the final minutes, and Brady threw an interception. Nerd. Of then unknown Michael Thomas. That sealed the deal. The fact that Miami gets, honestly, I think New England week 1 and say not week 7 or so is a good break. The fact that it's at home, it's another good break. Predictions: Miami Dolphins win. What do you think I'm going to say? Come on. Week 2 at the Buffalo Bills. And the Dolphins lost twice to Thad Lewis, and the Bills in 2013, including a Week 16. Honestly, it was a meltdown in Buffalo. The Dolphins get to travel to Buffalo in September, which is a nice change of pace from snow and rain in December. That said, if the Dolphins think that they will be able to sleepwalk through this game, we definitely will. I think Joe Philbin gets this team ready for a fight. And the flight, of course, and a bad taste of last season's losses eased up a bit. Dolphins win. Week 3, Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs suffered a heartbreaking playoff loss to the Colts in 2013. They're explosive, play great defense, and don't turn the ball over. Jamal Charles, honestly, is arguably the best dual threat back in the NFL. And if the Dolphins defend the run as they did in 2013, he'll have a huge day. We sucked against the run. Brandon Albert, will be facing his team for the first time. But will this be enough motivation for the whole team? To be determined. Week 4 at Oakland Raiders in fucking Oakland. No, in London. Fuck. Second time the Dolphins will be playing in a London game since those games began. The Raiders will be much improved with the additions of Maurice Jones-Drew. The Raiders have to fly almost 1,000 miles further than the Dolphins, and the Dolphins don't have to sacrifice a home game this time around. That's a plus. Green Bay, Week 5 was a bye. Week 6 is the Green Bay Packers. Joe Philbin against Aaron Rodgers for the first time. It has become clear, to me at least, that Philbin had a lot less to do with Rodgers developing than once thought, quite honestly. I'll give you my fair opinion. Philbin will likely highlight this game on his own personal schedule, and it's a good thing that Green Bay will be visiting Miami. The Packers obviously will have a perennial power, and this will be a tough one for Miami. Games like this are the reason re-signing Brett Grimes was a big thing. Week 7 at Chicago, the perfect time to visit the Vinny. The perfect time to visit the Windy City. Bear with me as I'm trying to breeze through this and get on with your day and not make this a long video. In terms of an NFL schedule, it is before November. Great time to visit Chicago. Dolphins got lucky again with this timing, I think. I think that some of the predictions for how will Chicago be in this season is overrated. I think, again, that the Dolphins have a great go-around in this series, this game. Dolphins win this one again. Now, after as I'm looking at the schedule here, after the Chicago Bears, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 8. Trip to Jacksonville, a midway point of the season, will cure what ails you. I don't obviously have a lot of analysis for this game. I simply think that the Dolphins are much better, and this should be an easy win. Week 9, San Diego. For the second straight year, the Dolphins face Phil Rivers and the Chargers. The Chargers feature a solid running game along with solid QB play as usual. This will be a great litmus test for Miami, who, by losing their final 2 games of the 13th season, allowed San Diego to sneak into the playoffs. Not this time. The Dolphins will be a great test. They will get a great test. And the fact that they don't have to travel to South California is great. Dolphins will win a nail-biter to keep the playoff hopes going alive. Week 10 at the Detroit Lions. Remember Reggie Bush, Miami Dolphin fans? Of course we do. He remembers us. So we didn't want to pay him. I honestly who cares. Delmas, do we remember him? He remembers Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Delmas and Bush face their former teams for the first time. And Delmas will be, have to contend with Megatron in an actual game for the first time. The Lions' high-powered offense will be very tough for the Dolphins to handle. But here's the question. Can we put up enough points? Will the Lions show up? Or will they be a disappointment like they were last year? Week 11 versus the Buffalo Bills, and that's a Thursday night. Miami finishes this series with Buffalo early this season and get a home game late. this time around, the Dolphins have another chance to beat the Bills in a game that will go a long way, I think, towards the playoff dreams. The game comes before a trip to Denver, so the Dolphins must have a sense of urgency in this one. Week 12, Denver Broncos. This one could be ugly, quite honestly. The Broncos have loaded up after the Super Bowl beatdown, and the defense is much improved. That, coupled with Peyton Manning, makes for a horrible situation, potentially, for the Dolphins. Week 13, Jets, Jets. The Dolphins see the Jets for the first time in 2014. This is in week 2013. This is in week 13, if you're able to believe that, for the first time in 2014. The hated rivals will host Miami on a Monday night. That might end up being the most important game of the season for both teams. The Dolphins crushed the Jets and benched Geno Smith last year at MetLife, so the Jets will have a sour taste in their mouth. Rex will always have some kind of taste in his mouth, possibly his wife's feet. The additions of Eric Decker, Chris Johnson will help the Jets offense a lot, but will it be enough to beat the Dolphins? Don't think so. Do not think so. Week 14, the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens did everything in their power to let the Dolphins beat them in 2013, quite honestly, and we still couldn't. I don't think the outcome this time around is any different, quite honestly. Unfortunately, I'm objective as a Dolphin fan. This will be another must-win against the seasoned rival. Interesting to see what will happen. Week 15 at New England. This is, quite honestly, about as tough as it gets, traveling to New England in the bitter cold. But Belichick, teams are rounding in shape and coming to fruition. These teams always kind of start off slow, pick up the pace later on. Tough game. Interesting to see what will happen. Really not much that you can say about this. Week 16, Minnesota Vikings. Adrian Peterson. Vikings still are not a very good team. You still have Adrian Peterson, who can go wild at any point in the game. So the run defense will be key for Miami. Luckily, once again, we are at home. We're not traveling to frigid Minnesota in December. Week 17, New York Jets once again. Meaningful game. Type of game that fans dream about. And this is make or break, I think, for both teams to get into the playoffs, as it will be fairly close, as I think. Again, as the Dolphins have known to do this to us, comes down to the final week as far as making the playoffs. So this could potentially be a must-win for the Dolphins. There you go. Running through the Dolphins schedule fairly quickly. Hopefully it made sense as I was stumbling on words. But I think you guys got the point. And either way, let's go Dolphins. Fins up, baby. Our year. Dolphins, please don't disappoint me again. And until next time, adios, over and out. Fins up.